Hey guys, what's cracking? Godsman here, coming at you with another fight night. Tonight, we've got ourselves a classic matchup of epic proportions. It's Royal Paladins versus Shadow Paladins. We've seen this matchup many times before, and the next great iteration is going to be happening on the stage of V Revival. Over on the top, in the red gloves, we've got Xenon back-to-back. What's up, sir? Mr. Red Gloves, you're going to be piloting Blaster Blade and his friends. How does that feel?
It feels great. Even during VIA here and there, I've always managed to play blasters at some point, so I'm pretty sure I'll have a lot of fun with this deck.
That's what I like to hear, man. I'm surprised there's no, candid threats, but I guess you're the Light Knight. You shouldn't be doing that. However, that doesn't apply to me, for I will be piloting Claret's Sword Dragon. I will cut down all of your weakling knights and show them that duty shall rise above honor. Alrighty, now with all that out of the way, you already know it's going to be a great RP one. You ready to begin?
Oh, I am ready to.
Okay then, stand up.
Stand up, my
Vanguard. Promising Knight David.
Arco.
I go first. Draw a card. From my hand, I ride Blue Espada Dragon. With skill of Blue Espada Dragon, I look at the top 3 cards of the deck and add either Morion Spear Dragon or Claret Sword Dragon to the hand. The rest are discarded. As luck would have it, I got just that. Boy, Claret Sword Dragon to the hand. And as for the other 2, like the fate of all weaklings, they will now go to the grave. Over to you.
That is some ouch. It mills. Alright, now it's my turn. I'll show you the power of knights who fight together. I ride Laurel Knight Sislith. With Barkle's effect, when I ride, I draw a card, and since I went second, I gained a quick shield. With the effect of the energy generator in the crest zone, it activates when I ride into a grade 1, and I energy charge 3 for going second. Furthermore, Laurel Knight Sislith skill activates. I look at the top 5 cards of my deck, and add any one grade 3 from among them to my hand.
Remember to draw for turn as well.
I did also forget to draw my deck. Dang it! Forgot something!
Yeah, I forgot. I couldn't interrupt in time.
That's okay. Alright, well, there's still a grade 3 shown from among them here. The solitary knight Gancelot. Though, this Gancelot has learned how to fight alongside his friends. Add it to my hand, but as a cost for adding the grade 3 to my hand, I must ditch 1 card from my hand. I'll ditch the quick shield I just added.
Fighting with your friends. I believe you were stronger when you were solitary.
Laurel Knight Sislith has an interesting effect while in the Vanguard circle. If there are no face-up cards in my damage zone, he gains 5,000 power. And no cards in the damage zone means no face-up cards in the damage zone. So Laurel Knight Sislith will attack you for 13,000 on the Vanguard.
I see. Well done, weakling. An early advantage like that's going to elicit a no guard from yours truly.
Drive check. No trigger.
Gordon, a classic. Damage check. A critical trigger. All effects to Blue Espada Dragon.
Well, that's just a taste of my power. I pass my turn.
You could serve the whole course, and I still wouldn't be satiated. I draw! Very nice. I now have a choice. But, first off, let's not forget, at the beginning of the ride phase, I gain 3 energy via my energy generator. Then, I believe I'll ride Taboo Evil Eye. Blanc. With skill, by energy blasting 3, I draw again. Very nice. So, you decided you'd try to rush me, huh? Well, 2 can play at that game, weakling. I call Morion Spear Dragon, activating skill. Soul Blast 1. Discard 1 card from my hand. I draw 1 card, and Get 10,000 power to Morion Spear Dragon as I've retreated a card from my hand that was grade 1. Then, I call Orphe. And another Orphe. Attack for 8.
I guard with Knight of Details Claudine. Activating its skill, when placed on the Guardian Circle, I Energy Blast 3 and draw a card.
Moody. Attack with Blanc.
I won't let you. Guard with Flogel.
Drive trigger check. Ah, very nice, a critical trigger. And the recipient shall be the strongest. As always, it is he who is strongest that prevails in this world. Morion Spear Dragon, illustrate to him in detail what I mean. 38 with a critical.
I won't guard. First check. No trigger. Second check. No trigger.
Figures as much. Passing the turn back to you.
I stand and draw. Start of my ride phase. I energy charge 3. And now, stand up, sword of my avatar. I ride Blaster Blade.
Welcome to the fray, Blaster Blade. Let's see what you can do while you last.
With Blaster Blade skill, I pay the cost of Counterblast and Soul Blast 1. Morion Spear retreats from this battlefield.
Very well then. Goodbye.
Next, I call not 1, but 2 Knight of Truth Gourd into the field. With its skill, my Blaster Blade gains an additional 5k power, and with both of them, that's an additional 10k power to it. Blaster Blade.
Alright then.
Huey? Yes. When my friend's fight has won, I call Flash Shield Assault behind my Vanguard. This activates Blaster Blade's continuous skill, while on the Vanguard circle, by a photo.
You need rear
Nope,
guards,
never mind.
weakling. Count again.
Ah, dang. Oh, my bad. Got a little ahead of myself. I was never getting that skill along.
Now, back to character.
Alright. I may not be able to fight to my fullest, but I'll still show you what I'm made of. Blaster Blade attacks the Vanguard for 20,000.
I won't be guarding that.
Drive trigger check. Draw trigger. I draw 1 card, and my Gordon on my left gains an additional 10,000 power.
So be it. Damage check. Claret Sword Dragon revolts. Next.
It appears your leader has abandoned you. Knight of Truth Gordon attacks your Vanguard for 10,000.
Guard.
My other Gordon attacks for 20.
Guard again.
That'll end my turn.
I stand and draw. Now, from the summit of the tallest mountain, I ride. Red sword dyed in the enemy's blood. Great dragon of glory, Claret Sword Dragon. Energy charge 3. And activating skill of Claret Sword. I look at the top 3 cards of the deck, put any number of grade 1 cards from among them, and shuffle. Claret Sword Dragon will be gaining 10,000 power for each of them. Furthermore, I gain an imaginary gift force. Force 1 will be my choice, to the Vanguard circle. And now, let's check the top 3, shall we? Well then, So good you think I'd stack the deck. I dropped 3 grade 1 cards! Plus 30,000 power to my Vanguard! Now, he's sitting at a total of 53,000 power. What do you do now, weakling? Now, in my drop zone, I currently have a total of 7 grade 1 cards that are regarded as such. If that wasn't enough, I also happen to have a few other goodies in there, but we're gonna get to that in a bit. For the time being, I think I've kept you waiting long enough. I call Cherishing Knight Bronwyn. Bronwyn's skill. Look in the top 5 cards of the deck for a grade 3 and add it to my hand. But of course, he's there. I add Claret Sword Dragon Revolt. Orphe will be the cost. Discard. With skill of Bronwyn, plus 5,000 power is granted to Bronwyn, provided I have 3 or more cards with grade 1 in the drop zone. And now, it's time for battle. Prepare yourself, weakling. Claret Sword Dragon. Demolish him. 53,000 on Blaster Blade.
Bring it on. No guard.
I figured as much. No one can stand to the overwhelming might that is my Claret Sword Dragon. The Twin Drive. The first check. No trigger. The second. No trigger. Lucky for now, weakling.
Damage check. No trigger.
And now, activating the skill of Claret Sword Dragon. I counterblast 1 and bind 7, count them, 7 grade 1 cards from my drop zone in order to restand Claret Sword Dragon with a minus to drive. And now, it's time for the skill of one of the new cards in this set, Tactician of Godly Calculation Orphe. When this card will be retired from rear circle or bound by the ability of my Claret Sword Vanguard, it is regarded as 2 cards. Therefore, I only need to bind in effect 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 cards.
You managed to cheapen the cost of your restand.
Oh, by a lot.
Still, it has all that much power.
It gets even better. I have exactly 3 cards still in there. And you know what that means? That Bronwyn will be able to maintain her 5,000 power. But I wouldn't worry about Bronwyn quite yet. Oh no, I've something better in mind. Claret Sword Dragon! Strike once more! 53,000 power with a drive!
I guard Innocent Ray Dragon to the Guardian Circle. With its ability, when placed on Guardian Circle, if I haven't ridden a grade 3 Vanguard this fight, I may choose one of its abilities. And I choose to decrease Claret Sword's critical by 2 until the end of this battle. Meaning you'll need to check 2 critical triggers to even inflict damage onto me.
And with
but
1 drive.
Claret Sword's minus drive, that won't be happening.
I suppose even weaklings can be right twice a day. Drive trigger check. Oh look, a critical trigger. The very thing you were attempting to avoid. Very well then. No matter. 10,000 power and a critical to Cherishing Knight Bronwyn. And now, at the end of the battle that my Claret Sword Dragon battled, revealing from my hand Claret Sword Dragon Revolt, and writing it as rest.
What?
Yes. Sure, it means a card out of my hand, but Revolt is filled with its own dangerous skills. Claret Sword Dragon Revolt lacks the Force ability. You'll get back to that though. In the meantime, Bronwyn, with support from Orphe. Attack, Blaster Blade, 31,000 and a critical.
I can't allow that to go through.
Ooh.
I guard with Flash Field Assault. discarding Solitary Knight Gancelot from my hand.
Very well then. Orpha is too weak to attack anything. Therefore, I stay my hand. Turn passes to you.
Stand and draw. Once more at the beginning of my ride phase. My energy charge 3. And now, the warrior that fight beside Royal Paladin's great king, I ride King of Knights Vanguard, Ezzell!
Oh. Now that's interesting.
Imaginary gift. Force 1. The one thing I did not ever set up was the random force. And this force marker will go onto the rear guard circle. But I'm not done there yet. We move Gordon back and activate the effect of Ezzell. Once while in the Vanguard circle, I may pay the cost of Soul Blast 1, and from my deck, a grade 3 unit with Alfred or Gancelot in its name.
Oh, I see. It seems we're playing more similarly than I thought, weakling.
Gancelot!
There he is. Welcome to the battlefield, Gancelot. Let's see if these so-called friends of yours are going to make a difference.
By riding Gancelot, I gain an additional force marker. Next, I call Gliding Eagle, and with its skill, I move it to the soul, using one of my units to give an additional 3k power this turn. I choose Knight of Truth Gordon, and since I have not placed a Gliding Eagle into the soul this turn, I draw one card.
Alright then.
Next, I activate the ability of Ezzell from the soul by choosing a card from my hand and discarding it. I can search my deck for up to one card called Blaster Blade and call it to the rear guard circle.
Oh, I see. So in other words, it doesn't just search Gancelot, it also searches his partner. It's like 2 for the price of 1.
And the card that I'll be searching is Swordsman of Light Alms. This card is regarded as Blaster Blade at all times.
Blaster Blade Reborn, is it?
And next, when this card is placed on Vanguard or Rearguard circle, I get to choose one card with an original name of Blaster Blade from the drop zone and return it to the bottom of the deck. And then I may pay the additional cost of Energy Blast 3 to draw an additional card.
Alright, I'll admit, you have tricks up your sleeve. But the unity of knights, it means nothing compared to duty.
Moving Gordon back, I call once more Blaster Blade. By activating his skill, I counterblast and Soul Blast 1. I force Bronwyn to retreat.
Haven't you learned already, weakling? My Shadow Paladins. They were meant to be retired. The drop zone, it's like a second home for them. All you're doing is opening the welcome mat for them.
Now, Gancelot will show you the true power. All of my Blaster Blades on Vanguard or Rearguard circle gain an additional 10k power, and Alms gives himself an additional 3k power if Gancelot is my Vanguard. He also cannot be chosen by any of your card abilities. Furthermore, when your Vanguard is of a grade 3 or greater, all of my front row circles with Blaster Blade on them become Vanguard circles. This means that I have a grand total of 4 dry checks coming your way. Can your hand withstand that?
Is that even a question, weakling? Come forth and I'll show you the meaning of mastery.
Then let's go. Solitary Knight leading the charge. Attacks for 23,000.
Activating the skill of Claret Sword Dragon in this moment. When this unit is attacked, Energy Blasting 3, and dropping 4 or more cards from my bind zone. I will choose to drop all of them. I draw 1 card, plus 5,000 power to Claret Sword Dragon Revolt at all times this turn. As I said before, I'll show you what I mean. Now, you said it was 23, right, weakling? Well then, I'll just simply have to guard higher than that. Guarding with Taboo Evil Eye Blanc. With skill, Counterblast 1. I draw again. And then, I guard Grim Revenger. That will be a 2 to pass. I doubt you'll break it though.
First check. Loyal Knight Sizzler.
As I thought.
You've managed to stave off this attack. Second check. Solitary Knight Gaslight.
Your weakness continues to astound me. You're even more of a failure than I initially suspected.
Well then, how about this? All of the Blaster Blade Vanguards and Rear Guards gain an additional 10k power due to having the 2 Gordons on my field. And since they each have a Blaster Blade in their column, they gain boost. So here we go. 43,000 to the Vanguard with 1 drive.
That's more like it, weakling. I don't guard this.
Drive check. No trigger. This card will come up later.
A damage check. Ah yes, very nice. A critical trigger. All effects to Claret Sword Dragon Revolt.
Next, arms boosted by Gordon will swing for 53,000.
Let me think about this one. Should I even bother? No need. I won't guard that either.
Drive check. Critical trigger. All effects goes to arm.
I'll make you pay for that one. Damage check 1. No trigger. Damage check 2. Critical trigger. But it's wasted on this turn.
Now. That is the end of my turn.
Alright then.
Let's see what you have.
Oh. To think you'd be praying to see your demise come even quicker. I cannot fathom the reasoning of weaklings.
Huh?
Stand and draw. Now, at the beginning of my next ride phase, the skill of Claret Sword Dragon Revolt finally completes itself. I choose a Claret Sword Dragon for my drop zone or soul. Ride it. And then I energy charge. And in addition to that, recall, this is a ride. 2 skills activate. First off, in addition to the imaginary gift force, the skill of my Orphas in the drop zone. When my Claret Sword Vanguard is placed, Counterblast or Soul Blast, and I can activate one of the following based on which cost that I pay. If I Counterblast, I can draw a card and place it on top of the deck, but if I Soul Blast, I can call it to a back row rear circle. So, by Counterblasting 1, I draw a card and place Orpha on top of this deck.
That guarantees one stack.
Indeed. But, oh my. Sometimes my own strength astounds me. I will be activating Claret Sword Dragon's effect. Dumping Orpha once more. Shuffle. And then... Ride. Claret Sword Dragon. A third force marker to Claret Sword Dragon. Activating skill. Look at the top 3 cards of the deck. Knight of Selection Fergus. And Ildona. To the drop zone. An extra 20,000 power to Claret Sword Dragon, and with the 3 force markers, that's a total of 50,000 power to Claret Sword Dragon. He's even stronger than last time. I hope you saw this coming, weakling. But...
I'm not afraid of you.
Oh. Then it seems you're a little hard of learning. I call Knight of Selection Fergus. As long as I have a Claret Vanguard, Fergus gets -1 grade and the ability to boost. I call Ildona. And then... calling Blue Espada Dragon. Blue Espada skill. Look at the top 3 cards of the deck. Oh, I see. I actually do get to add a card. Claret Sword Dragon. The others go to the drop zone. 10,000 power goes to Blue Espada Dragon afterwards. Okay. I hope you're ready for this, because this is where it gets extreme. Let's begin in earnest. I believe... Alright. We'll start here. Attack with support. This is for 26 on your Gancelot. Reading, are we, weakling? Let's see, you've got 7 cards in the hand, 3 damage. I might as well organize my drop zone.
Fergus is a very annoying topic.
Fergus is fun, isn't he?
We're gonna guard using Knight of Alliance Guiderius. It's its skill by banishing a heal trigger from my drop zone. I choose 2 of my units. Then they get 2 abilities. One is an additional 10k shield, and the next is an effect that when they retire from the Guardian Circle, they return to my hand. I then call Laurel Knight Sisley to the Guardian Circle.
I'm going to presume that you chose your 2 blaster units.
Exactly.
Alright. Next up, I attack. Claret Sword Dragon. Support from Knight of Selection Fergus. Fergus' skill. When it boosts by Vanguard with Claret in its name, I discard 1 card from my hand. Not only does my Vanguard get 1,000 power for each grade 1 card in the drop and bind zone, but it gets triple drive until end of turn. So, let us count, shall we, weakling? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's see. So, with 12 of them in total, an extra 12,000 power goes to my Claret Sword. And it's got the drive now. Alright then. What'll you do about this attack? It's coming at you for a total of 85,000.
I won't guard.
Shoot yourself.
Do your worst.
First check. Ah, very nice. A heal trigger. More power to Claret's sword means nothing at this stage. You couldn't withstand him anyway. So power to Ildona, and I recover damage. What appetizing options can I find here? Nothing terribly good. I'll drop you. And then, second check. No trigger. Third check. No trigger.
Damage check. No trigger.
Alright then. Here comes the big one, weakling. Just like before, counterblast one and bind 7 cards that are grade 1 from my drop zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Standing Claret's sword dragon. And now, he attacks. 75,000 power with 2 drives. That silence. It's so blissful. Can you guard
may
this?
regret not giving the power to the Vanguard of that Yugioh.
Oh? How could you possibly withstand this?
By intercepting with my 2 units, guarding with 2 critical triggers from my hand. This brings me up to 73,000. And then on top of that, I guard with Mascall. When your attacking unit has attacked 2 or more times this battle, he gains an additional 10k shield. This brings me up to 98,000 power total.
What?
More enough to guard your 2 triggers. You'll need 1 crit to even have a chance of killing me this turn. So come on!
Alright then. I take the bet. First check. No trigger. The second? A heal trigger. It's not quite what I was looking for, but beggars cannot be choosers. Therefore, 10,000 powers to Ildona. And then I recover another damage. Damn it. I couldn't finish you off, but I will still bring forth punishment. Ildona, Orphan and Support, 41,000 on your Vanguard. And riding Claret's sword dragon from the hand. As always. Yeah, you already knew I had that one. Alright then. You may survive this turn. However, do you think you can succeed my ironclad defense? Doubtful. But let's see you try anyway.
Will overcome it. Just you wait and see. I stand and draw. Perfect. You came to me at the most grand time.
What are you prattling on about?
King of Knights Vanguard Ezzell once again.
Him
Gaining
again.
an additional force marker. Placing it over here on this rearguard circle. And then once more with his effect. From my deck I superior ride another copy of Solitary Knight Gancelot.
Oh?
the last copy in my deck. Wouldn't you believe it?
Oh, I can't. Again, you and I play somewhat similarly. The only difference is you rely on the bonds of your rearguards. All I need is my Vanguard. Nothing else matters. Only the most supreme existence in this world can be allowed the validation of that existence. You are no exception. If you fail the task before you, I will crush you fully and completely.
Let's see how that mouse of yours runs after I beat you into the dirt! Activating Ezzell's skill by discarding a card from my hand, I search my deck for one Blaster Blade and call it. Once more I call Swordsman of Light Alms! Activating Alms skill by paying the cost of 3 energy and placing a original Blaster Blade on the bottom of my deck, I get to draw a card.
You're whispering, weakling. If you wish to be heard, then raise your voice.
I call another Swordsman of Light Alms to the rearguard circle. Fortunately, I do not get this one skill, since my drop zone is empty of Blaster Blades. However, the night I choose Gordon behind, my left side arms will retreat, and in its place, I call Swordsman of Light Unos.
Oh? I haven't seen this one appear yet. What does he do?
This is the card that will grant me my victory.
Big talk. I doubt you can hold it up, though.
Now, the combined skills of Gancelot and the Gordon on my rear guard, my 2 Swordsman of Light Alms will gain an additional 15,000 power, and they are treated as being on the Vanguard circle.
Alright.
Once more, Gancelot will attack your Vanguard for a grand total of 33,000.
33, you say? How interesting. With that attack, you could guard, but... No matter. My choice is clear. Activating skill. Energy Blast 3. All these cards to the drop zone. Draw 1 card. 5,000 power to Claret Sword Dragon Revolt until the end of the turn. Ah, very nice. I think I've got it. Activating skill of Karma Collector from my drop zone. By removing Karma Collector from play, I can Superior Call it to the Guardian Circle, plus 20,000 power to the shield, but that's not all. I then call Cherishing Knight Bronwyn. Nice try.
First check. Blaster Blade, no trigger. Second check, no trigger. Managed to get away from that. But how about this? Swordsman of Light's arms boosted by Unis will attack your Vanguard. The additional power of the Force Marker. This attack is coming at you for 46,000.
Not too bad, but not terribly convincing either, weakling. I won't guard this either.
Drive check. No trigger.
Damage check.
I know this deck can work. At the end of this battle, Unos activate. After boosting a Blaster Blade, if I haven't had a unit stand this turn, and your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, by paying 1 counterblast and retiring Unos from the rear guard circle, the unit he boosted stands again. Now Arms will attack your Vanguard once again, this time for 38,000.
How interesting. Let's see, 38. And then the other one is going to be 48. 58, 68. If you get the right drive checks, you might be able to pull this off. Then again. Alright then. God. Plus 10,000 to the shield. That puts me at 43. You'll need to hit a trigger to make this one work, weakling.
Well then, Drive Yuck! Critical trigger! All effects goes to the attacking arms.
Okay then.
Through!
First check. Critical trigger. Heal trigger! 10,000 power to my Vanguard. And recover 1 damage.
I won't give up yet.
Oh? Are you sure? Because now's the time to despair.
Arms boosted by Gordon attacks your Vanguard for 48,000.
48. Max is 58. I just need to go to 63 and you're done. I guard with these 2 heal triggers. No pass.
No trigger.
Okay. I'll admit it. You're stronger than I expected. But it's over for you. Stand and draw. And now, at the beginning of the ride phase, energy charge 3. And re-ride Claret's Sword Dragon. Imaginary gift. It's Force 1 to the Vanguard. But that's not all. It's time for the ultimate ability of Claret's Sword Dragon to manifest itself. After I conduct this ride, if both me and my opponent have 4 or more cards in the damage zone, I can bind 2 cards in the soul with Claret in their name. 1 and 2. During this turn, my Claret Sword Dragon gains an extra 20,000 power and 1 critical. In addition to those force markers, we've got an extra 60,000 power and an extra critical to Claret's Sword. Claret's Sword skill, look at the top 3 cards of the deck. I shuffle. None of them are grade 1s. But of course there isn't. I don't have any grade 1s left for the final turn. Orphe retreats. Call. And now, Claret's Sword Dragon, finish this fool off. Grim Revenger in support. Attack. 78,000 power with a critical. Despair as my Claret's Sword Dragon bleeds your weakness dry from your weeping husk.
Not here. And certainly not now. 78, you say? Well, that's just fine by me. I guard with Security Knight Yugioh, paying the cost of 1 counterblast and looking at the 5 cards at the top of my deck. I get to call any number of these to the Guardian Circle.
Getting desperate, are we, weakling? Fine then. Let's see if your gamble pays off.
Oh, look who showed up. Holy Knight Guardian to the Guardian Circle. And when she's placed, her effect activates. For this battle, my Vanguard can't be hit.
Alright then. Twin drive check. The first. It's a critical trigger. All effects going to my Morion Spear Dragon. Second check. It's another critical trigger. All effects to Ildona. And then, for the last time, Counterblast 1, binding 7 cards from my drop zone that are grade 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7. Stand up again, Claret Sword Dragon. It's time to face your end. Stop delaying the inevitable. Seize victory to me, and I will offer you a swift end. 73,000 power with a critical. You can't possibly withstand this attack. You lack the power.
But I still believe in the cards in my deck. There is one hope, one possibility. Let's check. Heal trigger! By recovering 1 point of damage. And I give 10,000 power to my Vanguard. Now, once more. Oh, also you need to do the card check.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I have no card.
LOL.
LOL. Okay. Never mind, I'm dead.
Oh man, it was such a good
dead. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself, and then I saw the 2 cards, and I'm like, oh wait, never mind, he answered his drive check.
Yeah, it's like, fool, did you forget how this game works? I must conduct my drive check. Okay, that was a fight night. Royal Paladin versus Shadow Paladin, really living up to the hype there. Holy crap, dude. Blaster's got an upgrade. Gancelot looks pretty good. And so does Claret Sword Dragon. Shoot, I was down just 1 card in deck. It was kind of funny too, because I knew based on my deck compression that like I had only triggers in my deck. That was it. I only had triggers in my deck, dude. Straight up. Like that's how wicked that last turn was. That's why I'm just so confident with that. I'm like, dude, I've calculated. I only got triggers. He can't survive this. He ain't got the guards. But you know what? It was still a really, really epic fight. Such a strong display here. And honestly, the support of both of these decks are very sublime. Claret's got even more ways to turbo out that win condition, have the defense on the back end, and then have an even greater offense when you hit the late game thanks to Revolt here. It's a very wicked comeback from behind kind of victory card just to really slash down the opponent. Meanwhile, the blasters here are all about that ability to have a consistent, solid unity of board, and your offense, it's sublime, right? The ability to have those drive checks, get criticals, and this is just for Gancelot. Ezzell is the tie that binds between all sorts of different Vanguards. The Alfreds are also included in this, right? So many of the different decks, like, it got a buff from this guy. It's awesome. So I'm very impressed by both of these support waves there. They really understood what the decks needed for the most part, and they delivered well enough. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy this fight night, then do be sure to check out the other fight nights we got down below. As I said many times, we've got many of these coming on the way for V Revivals. So if you're looking forward to the next one, then do consider leaving on a subscribe and turn notification bell for the next time I upload one of these videos. We also do other Vanguard content like top 10s, discussions, and anime reactions. So there's loads to check out in the meantime. So why don't you? And with all that said, take care and God bless.